Better shake your booties for black girl nerves. Better shake your booties for black girl nerves.
Thank you so much. Zach, thank you so much for your time this morning.
My pleasure. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. This film is so much more majestic. We learn more depth of what drew all of our supers together. Why was it your intention to show more of what led them to this war compared to some of the other DC films where we get right into what is going to take place and how they're going to come, how our supers will solve whatever obstacles in front of them?
Yeah, I think that, I guess for me, and when Chris and I were talking about just the genesis of the movie, there's a couple of things. We knew we were going to be putting together a fairly large team, right? And so we really wanted to make sure that that each of the characters we understood who they were and where they came from, and like what were their motivations. And I think that, people always say, oh yeah, when you make a superhero movie, there's not enough character development. We don't know what they want, all that. And I said, look, for Justice League, we can't let that happen. We've got to understand. And especially with my new characters, with Flash and Aquaman and Cyborg, I really felt like, because Chris and I from the beginning were like, it was Cyborg in the end that was going to be the real hero, the sort of real, he's the most, elemental, and he represents all of their journeys in some way. And I really wanted to sort of, he and his father and his mother, frankly, and how they're like, what is family and what is it to lose? What is loss? And what is our own, how are our own hearts wounded and damaged by loss? And then how are we able to rise again? And I thought that was at the core of it. That was kind of what I wanted to sort of highlight Cyborg's journey, but also have his journey be a metaphor for all of their journeys in a lot of ways.
Mm-hmm. With that setting the tone for those other journeys, does it diminish what we know about the other characters? Because in one hand, it's marvelous to see the origins of these new characters. How does that play into the journeys of the other characters and what drew them together? What are the similarities? What are the differences?
Absolutely. I think that it does, because I think that in Bruce goes from being a child kind of to a father, and Superman goes from being a martyr. At the end of the movie, he's kind of like, we see him just in Kansas, kind of just in a weird way connecting to his roots again. I think that Flash, it's for Flash, it's a story of like finding your footing, not to use the metaphor, but you know what I mean? And I think that for Wonder Woman, it was always for me about a journey back, like this potential journey back to Themyscira. And of course for Cyborg, and Aquaman, again, the same, it's this, it was different because the different characters that had, so like Wonder Woman, I knew had I was, very involved with the story for the first Wonder Woman movie. So I sort of knew what happened on Themyscira. That was all stuff that, I had been heavily involved with. And so that was a story I could sort of say, yeah, that happened, and then for her, it wasn't as important to show her origin because frankly, we already had done that. So for her, more was about to look forward, if any of that makes sense.
Is this your magnum opus?
It by definition, probably, but I think, there's always more to do.
Mm-hmm. Thank you so much for your time, Zach. I appreciate it.
Better shake your booties for black girl nerves. Better shake your booties for black girl nerves.